Hey guys, it's Travis from the Third Gear Speed Shop with an update on the dirt track, the late model dirt track Camaro. So I just finished, or almost finished, the headers for the engine. As I said in the last video, I was going to attempt to make some crossover headers for it, and if that was going to be a success or failure was sort of up in the air, but I think they came out pretty good. I posted a few pics on Facebook groups and on Instagram and got some nice feedback, and people seem to like them, so I'm pretty happy with them. They came out pretty good. The collectors, if you can see close up, the collectors are from Ron Kuhn at Ron Kuhn Resins, and the rest of it is just styrene rod. I used, if I can find it here, I'm not quite sure what size I used. It's the 1.6 millimeter evergreen styrene rod, and I just used mostly just bent it up by hand, but I also used some heat from a candle, very indirect heat from a candle, to get the bends, to all the tight bends that you see, to stay in place. It took some time. It took about a week off and on, working off and on to get them, where they needed to be. And I guess this one right here that's going up and around and over was probably the hardest one to get to behave. But I got them all into the collectors. Now I'm just working on the larger pipe or tube right here. This is just sort of in place now, but to exit out of the car. But I'm pretty happy with them. I think for the first time ever trying it, they came out pretty good. I did have to do a couple of them a couple times to make sure that they were, a couple of them got a little too hot when I was bending them. But I still need to make some flanges for them at the head, where they meet the head. So it's not completely done. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to wrap them with some sort of header wrap or not. But that's just sort of detail once it's painted and stuff too. So so I did that, and then on the frame, I made this, let me see if I can get my pointer here. I made this bar here, sort of a body support, and I remade the bumper. I did not have, I had a good right angle on the one in my last video, but the one over here didn't have such a great right angle to it, so I remade the bumper and then made a crash bar on top of the bumper, and up under here there's a crash bar to support the gas tank. And also made I took the gas tank from the Chrysler kit car and used some angle. As you can see here, I made put some angle on the edges of it, and then some straps, just sort of detailing it out. And then on the frame I put a support so that I could just slip the gas tank in there. So got my gas tank somewhat sorted, and my rear crash bars, bumper, I took out, if you can see these little, in the last video I had some crash bars here supporting the rear fender. They looked a little too big and clunky, so I took those out. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put those in or not, but for now I'm just gonna leave them out. And this is a Ron Kuhn Resins wet sump oil pan, modeled after the NASCAR one, but it's just a wet sump instead of a dry sump oil pan. And drilled out the hole in the oil pan, and I was able to situate the engine inside the frame. Drilled out my cross member so that I can see how my header setup is going to work. They clear the front of the frame, so that's good. I'm just trying to figure out now the exiting of the headers out the side of the car, and then on the actual body itself, trying to figure out. I've kind of made some rudimentary guesses as to where they'll exit, but so I'm in the process of all that right now. Oh, also I cut out the hood from the last video. Carefully cut out the hood, and here's the hood here, and I will be making the bars and everything that go up front, and then pinning the hood, doing hood pins and all like that. So for now the hood is just sort of no support to it, but anyway, that's where we are, and I'm just going to keep going with this. I'm pretty happy with the way these headers came out, and if you guys, I got a lot of questions on how I made these. If you have questions about them or want to see like a tutorial on it, just leave a comment below. I did use a candle, like I said, for heat, and that can kind of get tricky if you haven't done it. I try to stay away from using heat, but in this case I did need to bend it and have it stay in place. So that might be a video for a different time. So if you're interested in how to form a styrene rod and maybe want to tackle this yourself, either for crossover headers or gasser headers or things like that, comment below, and if there's enough comments and enough interest, maybe I'll do a how-to tutorial on bending up styrene for headers. So alright guys, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.